What is up, everyone? Welcome back to episode 3 now of MultiCraft Season 3. If you guys couldn't tell, I got a new skin. No, sadly, Tyler didn't make me this one. He made a pretty good one, but there's a mistake with it, so I had to roll with a different one. But yeah, we got a new skin. I found this one online, and then I altered it a bit to fit the base, fit our theme of red. We got some blue on it too, because I love blue. But you can see there's red highlights that kind of stick out underneath, depending on how you look at it. And don't worry, I am wearing my full armor. I just have a mod that makes it so I can't see armor. I don't know if I like it or not. We'll see. I might take it off later. But today, to start the episode, I want to get good. You can see I already got 3 shulker boxes. Um, who was it? I don't remember. I think Tyler. Yeah, it was definitely Tyler. He gifted me these shells, or shulker shells to make these, which is very nice. But I think it is time I go out and get my own elytra and shulker shells and stuff, because I don't have an elytra yet. Well, actually, never mind, I do. Harrison gave me an elytra, so I enchanted it. He said that was okay as long as I went and got him a replacement elytra. So we're gonna start off this one by end busting. First ship, is it looted? Yep. That's right, I need chokers. Oh, this looks like it might be unrated. I made it on. Nope, it's rated. Alright, third time's the charm. I went a completely different way. Hopefully no one's been here before. Yes, sir. First elytra. Only need one more. Bam. Sick. Look at how perfect this is. I just found a portal right here. And just past it is another ship with a huge tower and stuff. So I'm gonna try and raid this whole thing. I already have a stack and 8 shulker shells. Keep finding places without ships. I've been getting a little unlucky in that account. But we should have our second elytra. There it is. Perfect. So I'm gonna get the rest of these shulkers and I'm gonna head back. Now that we've got the shulker box situation, now that we got the end situation, now we've got the end situation sorted out here. Plenty of shulkers and stuff. It is time to start our build. And we're going to be building a moss farm today, right across. I think we're going to make a path here eventually. So this one will be right across the path, right in this area. And I've already got the build all planned out, so we just got to get some more materials again. So I'm going to get grinding. Just to let you guys know the block palette here. This is the material list. 616 green stained glass, 237 stripped jungle logs, bunch of terracotta, bunch of moss, whole bunch of stuff. Should be fun. And just like that, I've gotten all the materials needed, and we can start building. Let's get at it. And here's the finished build. See, I've got the moss little sign there so we know what it is, just like I've got that on my base. And the plan for this thing is just that it's gonna be like a big inside here. I'll have some chests for storage and whatnot on the inside, some decoration stuff. But the moss farms, I think we'll be able to fit 4 pretty nicely. I haven't really done the math, so I'm hoping it'll work out. But we're gonna have moss farms underneath this copper grate floor. Now this copper is supposed to be oxidized. I gotta wait on that. It's gonna take a while. But basically we're gonna have a copper grate floor. You're gonna be able to see through it into all the farms, all the moss farms that are going, and then you'll watch it come up, all the moss and bone meal come up and get put away in the chest. So I think it'll be a pretty cool thing, but it's gonna take me a minute. I gotta dig all this out, build in a bunch of moss farms. It's gonna take a minute. So I think it'll look really cool though when it's done. I like this. It's kind of hard to tell with the shaders, but there's a green full glass roof here, and it kind of ends in the middle. I don't know. I just looking at like Star Wars and futuristic sci-fi builds, they often tend to be circular for whatever reason. So I thought I'd incorporate that in this build. I thought a ceiling that doesn't really take up the whole roof. I thought that would be pretty cool. So I kind of came up with this design. I think it looks pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. But let's get the moss farm or the actual moss part of this build into it. I'm gonna need a lot of slime for a bunch of sticky pistons for these moss farms, and I don't have much slime. And the Mojang's added these oozing potions, so when you kill something, it turns into a slime. I've never used it before, but I'm down here at the spider farm. I thought, here's a place I can get a lot of mobs, get a lot of slimes, if I spray them with the oozing. So I'm gonna try this. Never done this before, no clue how this is gonna work. Oh, now I've got it myself. I think that got most of them. Now when I kill them, yep, that sounds like it's working. Oh, they're kind of far away. I can barely hit them. But yes, we're getting a lot of slime from this. And that was just one potion. One potion, or to make 3 potions, all it costs is 1 slime block. So as long as we make 9 slime from this, we got a good ROI here. Good return on investment. And yeah, that was a lot. We just got like a stack and a half from that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Here is one hole dug. This is the size that they're going to be. It's kind of awkward. If I want it to be touching each other in the middle, I'm going to be off a block on the side here. It looks like I built this thing just 2 blocks too wide, but that's alright. I actually dug this whole one out and then realized that, so I just shifted over one. It was a little bit of a deal, but it'll work out alright, I think. So this is the size of 1 moss farm. So we need 3 more of these holes dug eventually. And I need to fill them up. So I think I'm just going to fill this one up for now. Make sure I get the proof of concept going, make sure it works, and then I'll do it to the other 3. Alright, I just laid the last block down. So this is the moss farm. Basically you get a stone generator going. It's going to push stone across here. And then underneath we got a moss block that's going to turn all the stone into moss. So it'll get all broken up and stuff as it gets pushed by. And then we've got water hidden behind these trapdoors, which should hopefully come out, I believe, and push all the carpet and stuff off. I don't know, I haven't really seen this design in action yet. Hopefully it works. This is a very standard one. Look up Java Moss Farm on YouTube and you'll find like 10 different videos on this. So I used 2 different tutorials to make sure I did everything right. But let's try this thing. I think the lever's, yep, right over here. Oh, get stuck under here. Yeah. It's working very slow. Don't know if this is how it's supposed to work. There's not much moss being made, just a tiny little bit. Don't know if that's how that's supposed to work. Turns out I just had to fill up all the space underneath the stone. Now this thing is working great. Look at this. Bam. Sometimes it'll cover up just about the whole area. Just depends on how lucky we get, I think. That block will never fill up just because that's where the moss is under. So yeah, it works pretty well by the looks of it. We've already filled the outer hoppers. The middle ones are being used to put bone meal back into the system so this thing can keep working forever. So now I just got to get storage figured out for this stuff. I want to save just a little bit of moss and then turn the rest into bone blocks. Before I get done with the storage and all that stuff, I should probably actually just make the other 3 of these. And I'm realizing they're not as long as I thought they were going to be. I thought they were supposed to be a bit longer. So these actually will fit pretty nicely in here. You know, I was digging this thing out, and I thought a beacon would be really nice right now, because I could use that for mining this out, have it for regeneration, you know, whatever, here at my base. And it kind of fits the theme. Well, I already had 3 wither skulls, so all I had to do was fight the wither, and I was like, okay, I'll record me fighting the wither. Well, of course, Harrison had quote-unquote borrowed my wither skeleton's heads. I had 3. He kind of just stole them and told me that he'd give them back, and he has yet to give them back. And so I was like, okay, I guess I gotta go to the nether, get some, whatever, it'll be easy. I was fighting wither skeletons, and I got trapped in a corner with like 4 of them, and I flew away, went to fly away to get myself out of there, and I flew into one on accident that was coming around the corner, and I withered away over lava. So this is all that survived. Still got my elytra, which is very nice. My boots, which are okay. My axe and my fortune pickaxe. Everything else is pretty much gone. So I need more gear, lots more tools. So I know what I'm gonna be doing for the next little bit.
Bruce, do you not have? Oh, you don't have a blast furnace.
Nah, too broke for that.
They're
How
so
much did you
simple to
get?
make. 3.
Thanks, man. I now have all my loot back. It's actually better than it was, to be honest. But we got everything again, except for my diamond hoe, but I don't really need one of those. I think it's time to get the wither. I've got my sword. I've got my shield. Get my chest plate on. I should be good. Worst case, I can run back into my tunnel. Here we go. That does not sound good. I probably should have brought a bow. That would have been smart. Oh, brother. Not seeing anything. Oh, this is light work. Easy peasy. Yes, sir. And we can do a beacon. Nice. That was way easier than I thought, actually. I got the beacon in here. Sadly, we don't have any iron, so this is all we got for the upgrade. We can't do haste 2, but it works. Looks pretty cool. And it works. This took a lot longer than I thought it would. I'm done. Um, it wasn't too bad building one farm, but doing it another 3 times kind of took a while. And then, of course, linking everything up and stuff. I'll show you what I've got here. So it's one of these moss farms. You can find these very common on YouTube. I'll leave a link to the one that I watched. But they're very simple. They don't take too much to make. If you just make one, it would probably be plenty. But I went a little overkill here. You never know when you need bone blocks or bone meal. So I made 4 of these things, connect them all up, and all the bone meal gets shot up here and stored there. And pretty much every hopper here is making bone meal except for this one. I've got it saving a little bit of moss in case I ever need it. But this took a lot of time, honestly. I had to dig all this out. I made all the walls and floor green to kind of match. And the goal is just to kind of have it so you can see the farms working. They're kind of hidden, kind of hard to see, but just in the background of the floor here. And eventually this copper will oxidize over time and turn bluish green, so it should match the whole build. For now, it's just gonna be this orange color though. But the whole thing gets turned on by this one switch. So now everything should start turning on. You can see it all working here. Yep, working perfect. And it should, bone meal should start coming. Yep, there we go, up the tube here. And you can see it's pretty quick. There's quite a bit of bone meal flowing up. Works very, very well. I didn't AFK it for too long, and I have all of this and all of these stacks of bone blocks. So it works very, very well. Pretty happy with this build. Took me a lot longer than I thought. So this might be a long episode. I don't know how long we're going here. But yeah, that's probably going to do it for this one. Took longer than I expected. We'll have to get some netherite and stuff in the next one, because I did die at one point. I don't know if I told you guys this. I did die and lose all my stuff at one point, and I don't want to do that again. And if I would have had netherite, that wouldn't have happened. So, and that's going to be the goal for the next one, but this is going to do it for this one. If you guys liked it, please leave a like and subscribe. That would be great, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.